Welcome back to another episode of Greatest's Let's Play Modded Minecraft series. Where did we leave it last time? Well, it's episode 26 and episode 25 left us with making an ender quarry. So we should be able to open up and find lots of resources. Okay, that's larger, but not as large as it should be. What's our problem? Well, let's go and take a look. If you remember rightly, we built our first quarry over here. Should pop into view in a second, you see on the map. And as you can see as we approach, there are our resonant energy cells, and they're empty. Both of them. If we right click the quarry, only 42% done. And believe it or not, this is not the first time I've been out here. This is about number 6 and number 7 energy cells I've been up to out here. So as you can imagine, they are pretty terrible. Well, not terrible, they're the biggest energy cells in the game, but the quarry needs a lot. So why don't we just break these? Let's see if we can get something better so that we don't have to keep flying out here, which is a pain. Not too far away from our base, but yeah, it's going to get farther and farther as we move out with the quarries. They must demolish this volcano at some point, or build something on it. Not in the past. So let's go and take a look at our steam room. Okay, so I just drop these in place. And we want them set to maximum input and output. I should have brought along a crescent hammer so they remember their settings. Input and output. Input. Output. Now the power is going to drain from the top down into those. Yep. Yep, there you see. Building up in the bottom. Top is also outputting to the right. Now this should make us a large gauge of the power we have in the system, but at the top here we want power to be diverted somewhere else, out to our quarry. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use Tesseracts. Now, I may have mentioned before you lose power when you use Tesseracts, but if you imagine them as a wireless means of transmitting items or fluids or energy, then you get the idea. And if you're wondering where the ME drive's gone, yeah, we're going to expand the system more as time goes on. Where was I? Tesseracts. I haven't built them before, so let's build a Tesseract. First thing we need is Tesseract frame. I've already input it into the system, but it's basically 4 Enderium ingots, a diamond, 4 hardened glass. We've seen all these before, so that's fine. I'm going to craft 2 of them. Get them done. I happen to know I had exactly 8 ingots, so this is really handy. Otherwise I'd have to make more Enderium blend, which is a bit of a pain. We're going to probably have to automate that. It is a very, very... yeah, it's painful. So, we need to fill that... hang on, Tesseract. Yeah, we need to fill it. And it's 1,000 millibuckets, which is 4 ender pearls, so I'm going to need 8 ender pearls. We're going to do, and we want to put them in the magma crucible. Frames in here, and wait. Now we're done with those. I'm going to want to surround them with silver and bronze. So I have bronze, so let's make some I'm going to need 6. Yeah, of course you can only make 8. Hey. That's 1 done. Tesseracts done. And any second. There we go. 2. Need to build them in pairs. Well, at least in pairs. Maybe a bug when you have more outputs than inputs. I've never really tried it. Well, we'll probably need to give that a try. So let's just go and figure out what we're going to do. Tesseract. First of all, I'm going to put it on the wall, and we can put it right next. Yeah, let's put it right next to. Why? Is my connection going again? Oh, of course. Oh. Derp. Greyduster derp, because Greyduster forgets to fill. Gets to build the rest of the Tesseract. Now it should work. They do look pretty similar. It is gotta, you know, it's gotta be said. There we go. Right. You can notice how it looks like this by default. Frequency -1, receiving items, fluids, and energy. That's not what we want at all. If you right click, you can send items, fluids, and energy on any different frequency. It's inactive at the moment. So let's just say frequency 1, and let's call this RF power. Press add, and 1 is now saved as RF power. So if we press yes, it lights up and lets us know that that's active. On. And if we look at it, it looks a little different. Let me just put the other one down so you can see the comparison. See? Different. Again, this will vary depending on your texture pack, but you get the idea. So, what else? Well, you want to disable any kind of redstone. It should always be on, transmitting. Security is really more if you're on a server. So by default, this is public access. Anyone can receive. If they plug frequency 1 into their Tesseract, they'll get your power. Yeah. Be careful with that. Restricted and owner only. Obviously, I don't need to do these because I'm the only person on the server, so that's fine. But if you want to do that, set them to restricted before you do anything else like the frequency, and then just activate them so that it's restricted to you. And configuration, this is said before, it can send items, it can send fluids, and it can send energy. We just want to send energy at the moment. And by the way, all 3 of those could all be sent on the same frequency at the same time with different Tesseracts pulling them out, and you can pull them out of different sides. It's really very, very good block to use. So we don't want items, so let's just toggle through that. We don't want fluids. We do want energy, but we want it to be sending only. Sending energy. If I exit the tooltip from Whaler, send energy. Now at the moment, most of the energy is going down because it's filling these buffers up, and that's kind of what we need. I kind of want these buffers to remain full. Because we're going to use these buffers, this renewable energy source, kind of power the rest of our infrastructure. Remember, most of it's on lava at the moment or on separate cells. We don't really want that. We want them to be powered from a renewable power source, so they're always on. So we'll probably have another set of Tesseracts later. For now, though, we can go and set up the other side of this. So if I go out, daytime, good. Nearly there. So, configure this the same way you configure the other. It's like a redstone energy cell. Right click. Click on this now, click active. Redstone disabled. All that's needed here. And it's sending all, so we don't want that. So we want receiving all. We don't need items either, so that can go off. And that either, so that can go off. So receiving energy only. Going. And now it may not be working just yet. It says it is. So it's getting some power. Yeah, there we go. It is actually working. It is pulling power from our system. So if that's intelligent about it, it's probably going to be pulling half and half out of our system. But from this point, all we need to make sure is that energy is supplied into the other end of the Tesseract. And it's all sorted. The only time you should ever need to go back there is if you need to move the quarry. Which, depending on how fast you want to progress, you may want to do that pretty often. It's up to you entirely. How much stuff you want. If you follow along with me, you'll probably want a lot of stuff, particularly when we start to get in this top floor and what this top floor is going to be for. I'll give you a hint. It's more power. So that's that sorted. So what else do we want to do? I kind of like to speed up these machines. Speed up manufacturing is kind of good. And for that we need the overclocker upgrades, and for that we need those 10k coolant cells. Now, the complete pain to actually make them, particularly manually. Yes, you can use water buckets or water cells. It's the cells that I actually want. Come on, cycle. There we go. So a cell is an empty cell plus water bucket. But you don't have to do it that way. You can just fill them with a fluid transposer. There we go. Yeah, just water. Fine. So we need to make empty cells. Empty cells can be made with metal formers. Can we make them any other way, I wonder? Okay. So we want tin plates. Extruding mode. So that is rolling. Extruding. Fine, so we need to add a recipe back here. Make these. So let's see what we've got in tin. A tin plate. There we go. I wonder, can I program this without cell? Be able to. No, I can't. Well, of course I can't. Clear. Okay, one of those makes how many? 3. Great. So let's just go and throw that into the extruder. Should eject back into our system, of course, so we should get empty cells in here. There we go, 5. 1 really to tell the system. So I've already got the recipe in here. No, I don't, definitely not. Okay, so 3 code. Fine, so that gets us the empty cell. Whoops. Place. There we go. The system can make the cells. Now we have to fill them. And I don't want to do it through these. I want an automated but background system for doing this. So let's expand down here. Assuming I've got the pieces I need. No, I don't. Of course. So I need a fluid transposer. So let's about to make it. That's just one, please. Hopefully it can. Why is the recipe thick glass? Oh god. Right. Gotta be careful with glass when teaching it the recipe on how to do this. Glass is a complete pain, as you've heard me comment in the past. That wrote, wow. Oops, I'm on the right floor. Yeah, there we go. Glass is a complete pain. Let's just take a look at what the recipe is for that. There we go. Yeah, one of them's glass. We don't want that code. There we go. Get rid of that until it's built again. Fluid transposer. 1. Instant result. Also want water, so we want aqueous simulator. Yeah, again, this thing with glass. So let's go here and aqueous and make sure to override the glass code. Go. I'll build one of those as well. You're done, and a couple of buckets, please. Have any? Say. Well, the infinite water source. I do. Good. 1, 2. And just because it's convenient, I'm probably going to build it. I'm going to build it along this wall. I may move this. Not important right now to have it in a specific place. So, 2. Yeah, I can get easy access without having to build another one of those Tesseracts. Are Quarry still working? Yes, it is. Cool. So, start this with the basic bits. We want aqueous. We want some water. 1, 2. We're building up. That's right. Top of that, the output, we want a fluid transposer. So we want an input from the bottom only. Oh well, yeah, for the fluid we certainly do. And we're going to need a power source too, so have some redstone. For the moment, I'm just going to run you around here. I should get a shovel, but most of the time it's faster to just actually do this than actually go and make a shovel, and then of course I do that every single time, so it's slower. But of course, I'm just lazy. Okay, so round you go. You got power, and it comes. Got water, and now what we need to do is input empty cells and output full cells. So if I were to put this in, it should fill up and then output. So our output should be, I don't know, let's say the say the back work. What I'm going to do, we need to run some ME cable to do this, so it may not work initially. I'll probably have to go off camera. Of course, I've forgotten the. It doesn't really matter because there's no other machines nearby. I'm just going to rotate this so that it points down. So, we want the recipe, of course, so I'm going to need to fill one of these anyway, so let's just... There we go. Full water cell. Okay, there's our recipe. Right now, you are configured to configure the input on the top, and output, let's configure on the back. Should do it. There we go. And I'm going to need that spanner. Of course I am. Twilight. Crescent hammer. It's a spanner. Really? Or a wrench for the American viewers. There we go. So anything this puts in will get output and put back into the interface, which of course will go back into the system once it's rigged up. Now it has to be connected. Cable. Got a cable over here, so we should probably get one down the middle of the hall anyway, because I'm going to make more machines out here, so... Ooh, Certus. More Certus. So if I just straight down... There we are. How far down have we got? I'm going to do this off camera. Be right back. This if by magic or waiting for me to go and find lots of Certus. This cable really uses up Certus like crazy. If by magic we're now hooked up. And I'm short on stone. Gimme. There we go. I'll move that as well. That's a bit ugly. Now that we have consistent power. So, cell. Take that out. So as a test, let's see if you can create me E, please. Okay, so upstairs, it's making a template, which can then make 3 empty cells. There goes the template. Probably got pushed into the extruder right now. Hopefully that should come back. There we go. Now it should get pushed into the fluid transposer, and they're done. Should be done. Why aren't they coming back? Oh. I just get water cells? I did just create water cells. Same thing. Overclocker upgrades. Please tell me I haven't taught it the wrong 10k coolant cell. Oh, okay. Fine. It needs the water cells, yeah, to make the cooler cells. Yep. I'm just forgetting a step. Upstairs, the last bit. Would be the easy one, really. We just need some tin plates. Let's just teach the recipe. 10k. And this is taking too long to produce these kind of things, which is exactly why we want the overclocker upgrades. Exactly where this problem should go away. As long as we have enough power, it should go away. We'll see about that shortly. Yep, so you and you. 10k coolant cell line code. Done. Drop you in here. Drop those back in. So now if I want 10k coolant cells, yeah, there we go. So overclocker upgrades. I want to program that as well. We should know how to make everything else, hopefully. Fine. Please make me, I don't know, 12. See how fast this goes through, but the speed it's currently processing things without having any overclocker upgrades. It's doing them one by one, and it's probably getting bottlenecked upstairs by different machines doing different things. There we go, there's our copper extruder. There's another tin plate. See how this is really slow? Really, really slow. Let's go and have a look at the machines. Because when you want something, when you've built an ME system, and you're telling it to do all of these different jobs, when you've built a system that can build stuff for you, you don't want to have to wait around for this to happen over and over. Now the downside is that when we start putting overclocker upgrades, that middle row above the power is going to increase. It's going to go all the way up. But because we've got generator upgrades in there, all these can take at least 128. Which is what our lava power is currently outputting. Now, of course, this is just up to lava at the moment. That's not renewable. I have to keep moving it, but I don't mind because it's just going to produce things faster at the end of the day. So, how far through has it got? It's not even produced the first one yet. Oh, come on. 10 plates is all it needs. Come on, come on, come on. You've produced one, and the whole process starts again. Right. So let's start very, very slowly with just one. Look at the power. It's 10 EU per tick right now. And that's doing plates. I'm going to do an upgrade, and it's now 16 EU per tick, and it's a little bit faster. I mean, that's not an amazing amount, so we're definitely going to need more than one. I put 12 in because I think I want at least 3 in each of these things, probably 6, but at least we can start adding them and making this whole process faster. Hopefully soon, because Oh, there we go again. We're making plates. So let's upgrade the first metal formers. Actually, maybe this one more than anything else. So I'm going to go away, wait for those to build, and we'll be right back. While this is still going, still making things, we're now up to, let's see, 41 EU per tick. 3 overclock upgrades. This is obviously moving much faster. Problem, however, is that the ME controller is hooked up to the same power grid as everything else, and our weedy, and I say weedy, remember that it's still the CESU, it's still providing quite a low amount of power. So our ME system is struggling, see it turning off and on there. Definitely not something we want. So our power is low. So let's finish doing these. Cancel the rest of those for now. And let's just put one in here for now. So what are we going to do about it? Well, thankfully, we can jump up to the next. The IC2 batteries, effectively. This outputs 512 E per tick. So there's a few things we need to do in here. In fact, let's just teach this to the system. You don't need to teach these rare items to the system, but in my case, I'm probably going to have more of these in the future, so I may as well. So yeah, I don't have any of the components. Code. That's a compressor recipe. Code. I'm running out of patterns. Fine. That's gonna be 10. Yeah, that's that done. We want. Oops. Back MFE. So we want the recipe for diamond dust, which is just a diamond. Make that. That's fine. Machine casing. Do I already have the recipe for that in here? Do. Alright. First of all, let's dump these in. Tell it to build me an MFE. Just the one, believe me. Now, it's going to be short of these energy crystals. The energy crystals need us to take, rather expensively, 16 diamonds and crush them into dust. Not compressor, tesserator. So if I take the overclocking upgrades out of the other ones and just see what effect this has, look at this current speed. That much faster, but it now uses 13 EU per tick. Our metal formers need more by default. These start at like 2, these start at 10. So obviously, Overclocker upgrades has a much greater effect on higher EU per tick machines. In this case, metal formers are the highest so far. Not got to, there's a few more higher ones even than that. Quite a few, in fact. So it's quite safer, certainly, to upgrade our compressors. Extractor, generally you don't need rubber that much. And then, well, enough to upgrade. And then macerator is a good idea too, because when you're building cable, lots of that needs surface being ground, nether quartz being ground, and you're waiting for this process to go through. So, missing materials are energy crystals. So we also need the energium dust. We actually want 9. Hopefully I just clicked on the right thing there. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, 9. And it's a compressor recipe, so you know the pattern. That'll go on downstairs, that's fine. So I'm going to need to compress this. Let me just take out the ejector. Because this isn't a recipe I can shift click into place, I'm going to have to do it the fashion way, which is fine. A bit more laborious, that's all. There we go. Energy crystal. Energy crystal. It's just empty, that's all. So 9 of you equals 1 of you in code. Of course, wrong place. Do not count. That's the same thing. Fine, tell you what. We'll just have to adjust the recipe for you. Now make me an MFE. 4 diamond dust missing. Really? Did I miscount? I mean, it's not like we're short of diamonds at the moment, but okay. Wait. 2 and one's compressing them up, fine. You're done. One MFE. Okay. Bit I always forget about. So go and dig. I'm gonna have to set up all the recharge stuff again. That's fine. What I don't want to have to set up again is this. So all of you can be removed. Get you out of the way. So my input is on the side. Output's on the top, and the output is yeah, I wonder. Machines 128, aren't they? Strictly speaking, we're not in a version of the mod which will cause explosions, IC2, that is. But I think I actually want to build this just in case we migrate to one later. Working. Don't want to deprive this of power while it's still making my stuff. Come on! Oh my god, it's doing iron plates. You see now why overclockers are such a big deal? Come on, iron plates. There we go. Oh no, it's out of power because I used to. There we go. MV transformer. Right, let's get rid of you. And you, I think. Yeah. So you. So green spot is the output on a power supply. So that. So 1 MFE coming up. Now, going in, we're still using copper cable. That's fine because there's never more than 120 EU per tick coming from these lava generators. They're all on right now because they're charging this thing. Lots of EU here. However, on the output side, we're going to be stepping things down. We're going to use one of these to step things down to 128. If we were going to just output straight up, we'd want to replace this cabling. Again, right now, this version of the mod does not explode things, but if it did, copper cable only carries up to a maximum of 128. There we go, 128. You need to go up to gold cable if you're going to go up any further. Right now, I don't need to. I just want to upgrade this power supply unit. Off camera, I will probably upgrade these cables then, and then more generator upgrades, and at which point we can remove this MV transformer I'm about to put in place. So for the moment, MV transformer, and I want to put the high side down. Yeah, high side is down. Fixed step down. There we go. So that's upgraded for the moment. It's replaced our CESU, so it's a much bigger buffer. And the buffer usually, at least without upgrading all this cable and all the other kind of stuff, will handle this problem. Because these are temporary things. When you tell it to build something, it's only going to take power temporarily before it comes back up again, and we're just going to wait for that power to come back. Unless I've put this MV transformer the wrong way around as usual. Have I? No, just that everything else is working. Yeah, I was back. Where was I? Yes, so it acts as a much bigger buffer. The much bigger buffer allows for us to, when we're making things, for it to pull from the buffer, and instead of depleting it like before, it should actually provide enough power for the overclockers to run, as you'd expect. So, unfortunately, the buffer hasn't built up yet, so if I started off, yeah, we're going to lose power. Yeah, you can see right now it's not charging. It's because all the machines are on, all the ore washing power plants are on, processing the ore from our quarry. So pretty soon I think we're going to need to upgrade power source for these things. Yeah, maybe not right now, maybe in an episode or two. But that is pretty much it for this episode, I think. Just to quickly recap. Oops. Oh yeah, we have a new maintenance room. Fine. We have lots of space for all our ME needs there. Downstairs, we have a machine. Well, we have our Tesseract sending energy to our quarry. We have a boiler tank, which is kind of working. Yeah, I mean, it's not full, but it'll do for now. So the power's been sent to our quarry. It loses 25% in the transition, but that's okay. We're getting lots of nice materials back. We've got a machine down here, and I'm probably going to put them along this wall, and maybe over this wall and stuff like that, that automatically produce certain things. In this case, this one is all neat and tidy, and it produces water cells on demand, and water cells are a big pain otherwise. They let us produce 10k coolant cells, which let us produce overclocker upgrades, which let us speed up all of the manufacturing. So once that buffer is built up, I'm just going to tell it to build overclocker upgrades. Once it's got through all of this stuff, I should say, I'm going to tell it to build the overclocker upgrades, at which point we'll have a fully working, nice and fast assembly system. Thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to subscribe, leave a comment below if you've got any questions, and I'll see you next time.